The world is offline. Entities beyond understanding infest the information systems and protocols that once connected us. The net is gone and there is only the unending darkness of void space. The year is unknown. No one can agree because no one can remember. This future is not what we wanted and is the last dying gasp of the world that came before. Governments across the globe have collapsed, as mega-corporations and powerful cult consortiums have risen to fill the power vacuum. Their will is absolute. You either buy into their propaganda or stay out of their way. That's what most people do, falling in line or eking at a meager existence on the fringe. But that isn't you. You are an operator, a cybertech augmented mercenary on the payroll of a shadow entity known only as Control. Operators live on the bleeding edge, pushing body and mind beyond the breaking point to get the job done. The credits are good, and the thrill is better. Most don't survive long in this line of work, and most don't care if they do. You can't outrun the night, but you can try to keep pace for a while. Burn hard or burn out. A lost and obsolete history. There is very little agreement as to the facts of history. Each megacorp and cult consortium purports to have the truth of what happened. Yet, their mythologies are so conflicted that any assertion of these truths is difficult to believe. Here's what is known. A triggering event, known colloquially as the Source, occurred at an unknown point many decades, perhaps even centuries before the present day. Some claim to have lived through this event, yet their stories are varied and confused. Depending on whom you ask, this event was a great singularity of engineered intelligence, an intrusion of forces beyond our dimension, or a spiritual awakening and rapture. Regardless of the true nature of the Source, it left the world forever changed in its wake. A great divide exists between what came before and since. The past before the Source is obscured and unknown, as if a haze has settled over humanity's collective memory, while what passes for modern civilization has roots that stretch far back beyond this event. There are no history books, no maps, only fragments, relics, and whispers of the world before. Though the nature of the Source remains a topic of great debate, specific effects on the world since have become inarguable. The world of Chrome is in many ways ultra-modern, yet it is also anachronistic, a dark age intermingled with cutting-edge technology. The rise of void space. In the wake of the Source event, the virtual online reality of commerce, entertainment, and information has been infiltrated and transformed. Inhuman entities, ominous and alien, flooded this digital realm with corruption and darkness. Servers across the globe went offline, connections between individual networks were severed, and the bright shining silicon lights of the net slowly blinked out. Those in power struggled to maintain the global network, but it was too late. Void space had come. This corruption was not simply of data protocols affecting only digital systems. These entities reached into the physical world, infecting the bodies and minds of biological beings. Those infected are driven to madness and much worse. Rumors persist of violent transformations into biomechanical abominations and horrors beyond understanding. Confronting these incomprehensible new realities drove humanity back into a dark age of fear and superstition. Modern words regained old meaning, digital entities born in darkness as old as humanity itself, demons. In the following decades, private networks were isolated and locked away. Corp and cult initiated a lethal and merciless crackdown on any organization or person who attempted to access void space. As with all things, these restrictions were only for the public. Privately, in highly guarded laboratories and hidden sanctums, they experimented and began to learn. A new field of study was born that fused cutting-edge technology with dark occult rites, esoteric technologies, or as it is more commonly known, esotech. Esotech devices come in many forms and are among the most closely protected secrets of any organization powerful enough to produce them. It is rumored that simply examining the schematics of such devices has driven engineers to madness. At its heart, esotech is the manipulation of demons that populate the hidden corners of void space. The exact nature of these demons is a matter of great debate. Some believe they were otherworldly devils, some see free-willed eyes, while others think of them as extra-dimensional cosmic horrors. They are considered an intrusion and a grave threat to most, but to those who practice esotech, they are a gateway to power and heralds of a new future. New power structures. There are no governments left in this broken future. Even the idea of government as it was once known is gone and forgotten. all locus of power rests with two groups, megacorporations and cult consortiums. What is left of cooperative civilization is fostered and upheld by these organizations, so long as it serves their interests. Generations of individuals and families are born into their ranks. A few souls free themselves of their oppressive oversight. Most never seek to leave the relative safety of their influence. Some would argue there is very little difference between a corporation and a consortium beyond their chosen belief systems. Yet, their internal hierarchies and agendas are often vastly different. Cultists are generally true believers, evangelists, and missionaries of cult doctrine. They hold and enforce strict codes of conduct that align closely to the mythology they espouse. Cultists are almost universally obsessed with the nature of the source, demons, and void space. Consortiums are pioneers in the design and implementation of esoteric to further these ends, though most would never admit to such. Many also regularly welcome new converts into their ranks, although leaving a cult is quite different once indoctrinated. Privately, the attendants and employees of megacorporations may be less rigid in their belief systems. Still, publicly, most espouse loyalty and support for the corp to avoid demotion, censure, and worse. Corporations' primary goals center on power and influence as they compete with rival corps over physical and intellectual resources. Most cyber tech is developed in their fortified labs, then deployed to their security forces and research personnel, while some lower-level staff and executives can leave the service of a corporation once an individual has risen to a level where they are entrusted with proprietary knowledge or secrets. Quitting becomes a dangerous proposition. Control and its operators. Megacorporation-owned structures and headquarters are scattered across New Los Angeles. Cult temples and citadels in various forms loom over the landscape of steel and neon. The presence of these influential organizations is ubiquitous and undeniable. Yet another entity exists in the sprawl that has no known physical location or base of operations. Its operators, contractors equipped and augmented with black market experimental tech, prowl the streets of the megaplex carrying out all manner of dangerous assignments. A name whispered throughout the street and high-rise, this mysterious entity is known as Control. Whether Control is an individual or an organization is not known. It communicates directly with its operators via an analog comlink system, providing mission assignments and whatever information it deems necessary for their accomplishment. Control also provides its squads of operators with essential equipment, from weapons to gear, to cyber tech. Such physical goods are delivered via drone or special operators tasked with resupply and outfitting. Control's goals are indecipherable, its assignments often contradictory, yet its influence is undeniable. Operators are recruited from those individuals whose path in life has led them to some dead end. They are lost souls with little to lose, armed with valuable skills and abilities. Many are refugees from corp or cult, members of private military security forces, or opportunistic and unaffiliated residents from the streets of New LA. The life of an operator is dangerous, thrilling, and often brutally short. When Control reaches out to prospective recruits with offers of credits, access, a new life, and opportunity, they inevitably find many who are willing to risk whatever they have left.